Hello there and welcome to your final lesson of the day. So now for the end of the day, we're going to talk a little bit about geography, okay? So in the past two lessons, we were talking a lot about vehicles, yeah? So we were looking at what's on the street and what we can see on the roads close to our home. So if you remember, we made that graph chart and we discovered that what we can see the most are cars, yeah, be it cars, be it taxis. We saw quite a few bikes, vans, bicycles, motorcycles, I think I've said, but maybe not so many trucks right now, which is nothing unusual. Trucks usually go on highways transporting goods, yeah? Whereas all these other vehicles that you can see around your home, such as cars, vans, scooters, bicycles, are vehicles used to transport people. So there are two ways how we can look at vehicles, at types of transport. We can look at them based on what they carry. So do they carry people from one place to another? Never mind how far away those two places are, okay? Or if they carry goods, yeah? So goods can be anything that we use, okay? Our clothes are goods, food is goods, anything can be considered goods. Now, that's what I said, one way to look at transport. Is it used mostly for people or is it used mostly for goods? But we can also look at transport based on where these vehicles go. Yeah, so we said there are three ways that we can look at transport depending on where it's going on. Of course, the most obvious one is land transport. Okay, so anything that goes on our roads or rails, that would be road transport. That would be land transport. Of course, above the land, we have some things flying in the air. This is what we call air transport, like planes and helicopters and so on. And then finally, if you've ever seen a globe of planet Earth, you notice that there's quite a lot of blue surfaces. Well, those blue surfaces on globe are there to represent water. So there is the third type of transportation, water transport, okay? So let's just repeat. We have air, land, and water. So for that, I'm just going to quickly, just once again, to go over that presentation that I showed you in class, okay? Just to remind ourselves, what are some types of transport called and where they go. Okay, so if you just give me a second for this to start working. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so here, this vehicle is called a car, an automobile, and it's land transport. Okay, what would this be? A bicycle. A bicycle is also land transport. Okay, next is hot air balloon. Hot air balloon flies. If it flies, we know it's a type of air transport. Now this airship also goes in the air, so it would be air transport. Submarine goes under the water, okay, and is considered water transport. Well, this kind of shuttle or rocket goes up, very high in the air. Yeah, this is a spaceship. Okay, tractors we can find on land. Boats belong to water transport. This kind of Formula One vehicles we can see mostly on land. A racing car is also a way to call it. Okay, we have a helicopter which flies in the air. You can see this relatively often flying in the skies of Santiago, the city where we live. We have bus. Bus is a type of land transport, and its most important purpose is definitely to transport people. Okay, and here we have a lorry. Okay, lorry transports goods on land. Okay, good. So now that we revised a little bit what vehicles there are and which of these we can use to travel, let's talk a little bit about the way how we travel. So we already talked about how we go from one place to the next, which is in our surroundings, yeah? So usually if you would go shopping, you're most likely to either go walking if a store is very close, or buy a car, yeah? To visit a friend, you might also use your car, but if they don't live so far away and you have more time at your hands, you might use your bike or your scooter, yeah? However, you wouldn't be using a scooter to travel to the beach. To go to the beach, you would most definitely use your car. And if it happens that your car is broken and you really want to go to the beach that weekend, well, maybe you can use a bus, or maybe you can even use a train in some countries. And in case that beach is quite far away, you might need to catch an airplane. Now, what is very important to know that when we travel from one country to another, we need to use something called a passport. So a passport is a little booklet, and there, every time when we cross the border, which is the line which separates two countries, we need to get a little stamp down there, okay? Now, all of you have their own passports, and I'm sure if you ask your parents, they can let you have a look, but bear in mind, you cannot take them and play with them because they're very precious documents to us. We can't afford to have them damaged or lost, okay? This is something that we need to take care of. But what we are going to do in the next few lessons, we are going to make our own passport just for use at our geography lessons, okay? So this passport, okay, the cover is going to look like this, and the inside is going to look like this. And actually, this is your task for today, to print out this passport, connect these pages, okay, and fill in, okay? So I'm going to tell you what you need to do here. So first it says here, photograph or picture. If you have your own photo, you can stick it here, or you can do your best to draw yourself as you really look like, okay? Color it in. Name, please write your name and last name, okay? Signature, again, just write your name and last name. Passport number, you can choose any number that you like because this is not your real passport. And then description, you're going to describe yourself in few words. Birthday, you need to check what's your date of birth. Home country, the country where you were born, and here says place visited. So can you think of some countries where you've already traveled? Now obviously you're going to need quite a lot of help from your parents, but this is why now that we make this once, we're going to use it several times, okay? Now, talking about traveling to different countries, let me tell you what I have here. So here you can see a list of many different countries. So what I'm going to do, first I'm going to read this to you. Chile, South Korea, Brazil, Japan, South Africa, Canada, Spain, and China. So one more time. Chile, South Korea, Brazil, Japan, South Africa, Canada, Spain, and China. Now, why do I have all these countries here? Can you already guess? Well, these are the countries where you come from, Okay, so in our class there is at least one child which represents one of these countries. Of course, because we all live in Chile, we have quite a few children born in Chile, and we have quite a few children coming from South Korea. But as far as I can remember, we have 2 friends coming from Brazil, a friend coming from Japan, a friend coming from South Africa and from Canada, and we have a friend whose parents are Spanish, but she was born in China. Okay, so why do I have these countries here? Well, let me show you something that I have here. Today, we are going to use a tool called Google Earth, yeah? Okay, so we already used something similar. Remember when we typed in our addresses, okay? And we could see the streets where we live. So what we are going to do now, we're going to use Google Earth, okay? I sent the link in the lesson plan that I sent to your parents today. And what I have here, I opened Google Earth, okay? So let me just show you. So you can see from the distance, it's showing you the picture of planet Earth, yeah? So it's showing you right here is actually South America, the continent we live on. Okay, so what we want to do is go here on this magnifying glass, because when we click there, we're gonna get options to search. Okay, so this menu will appear, and here we can type in the country or any place that we want to go and visit. So guys, I choose first of all to go to the, I think, biggest countries. Well, we have China there as well. Let's go to Canada. So I'm going to write here Canada. Press search, and now you can see from where we are, the globe is moving to show us the view of Canada, yeah? So what you see here is Canada. Now when you look like this, it doesn't look very big, but this has been reduced many times. Canada is one of the largest countries in the world. And here you actually even have pictures of some famous places in Canada. So maybe we can click on some of those photos. And it's going to take us to Hood River, Nunavut in Canada. Okay, so guys, from Canada, how about we go and take a look what's going on in Brazil. So we go back to search. Okay, we're going to delete Canada and type in Brazil. Okay, so look, from Canada, we're going down, back to South America, and here is Brazil. Brazil is also a very big country. Now we can click on some of the images here. I can already recognize that this is Rio de Janeiro, but we can actually just click anywhere, and what's going to happen, it's going to zoom in, yeah? And the more we click, the more it zooms in, and more of these important places show up, okay? So right now, what do I have here? I have a national park here. So let's take a closer look and find out what it is. Jean Fidel Onle. Okay, I'm not sure what this is actually, how this is read, but you can see that we accidentally stumbled upon some beautiful waterfalls, okay? And this is the great thing about using this program, Google Earth, is that you can go and from your own room explore the world, okay? So what I would like you to do is that if you have access to Google Earth, you go and find out a little bit about the countries where your classmates come from, Okay, so that is your task for your next class for next week. Explore the countries using Google Earth and please complete your passport. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye bye.